Moving now to the topic which was the most commonly raised issue in the questions from participants. It's on community rights. There's a broad perception that the community has lost its voice in decision-making around planning and the protection of heritage. Do you think the community should have a greater say on decisions around planning involving heritage places and representative buildings? What would you do to enable the community to have a greater say in policy and decision-making?
If I can just talk specifically about the third-party appeal rights and the voice of community. First thing I'd say is that we have steadily worked in the last few years in getting third-party appeal rights into legislation. Most recently, I was involved in that with the Honourable Mark Parnell, the predecessor to the Honourable Robert Sims, in the Landscape SA Act, which was the update of the Natural Resources Management Act, to insert the right of standing for third parties who are concerned about the impact of something on the environment. So I come from absolutely wanting to hear the community being involved. The only word of caution, I hesitate to say this because, I feel like I'm the one who's always bringing up the complexity and the subtlety, which sounds like I'm trying to get out of black and white politics. But in a way, I am trying to get out of black and white politics because we all actually have to live in a complex world. The only subtlety I'd like to raise in people's minds is making sure that when we talk about the importance of third parties being heard, that we find a way for that to occur in areas of low socioeconomic status, as well as those of very well-resourced, very well-educated people who are very well able to engage in that activity. So when we talk about it, we need to make sure that we're not just then throwing over these decisions to the local community dependent on their capability to stand up for their area. So I'm very concerned that we make sure that we're hearing the views of people who are more time poor or more resource poor or more education poor in those voices.